Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, and we're finally gonna launch this. We're gonna start our space station. This is the first step of it, which is gonna be pretty simple. It's gonna be the processing lab, some RCS thrusters, and some solar panels just to get it started. But we're gonna definitely expand it a little bit so that we can include like docking area and kind of like a disembark area, and maybe some habitation modules along the side. And we're going to definitely upgrade our solar panels. But before I do this, just to show you guys what I've done within the last 24 hours. I haven't done much besides finish up some missions, and I collected one of the space, like, collect data science things in space, and that yielded us like 50 grand, so it paid off for both satellites and then some. So show you guys what I've done so far. I've invested into large electrics, which will give us this giant solar array, and it unlocks this giant battery bank, which we might add somewhere on our space station, and this thermal electric generator, which will come in handy for, I think, a couple of rovers and stuff like that. Might add a thermal electric generator to the rover that we're going to send to Duna, but that's going to be a long ways away. But until then, let's start putting up this giant space station. Looks like we're having a lot of consecutive night launches, so it's not going to be as interesting. Or should I make... well, technically I can make it interesting. We can do it in the day. Just to show you guys the plan here. Because once we start hitting it off, we're going to have to start... we're going to fire our rocket stage, which is going to be the boosters, and then I'm going to set this to a pretty low setting because the main cell has a lot of thrust in it, but I'm going to still keep it to a certain amount. That way we can keep a little bit of control. And can we fast forward time a little bit? Yeah. We're going to just do this like somewhere early morning, that way like we can see it. Okay, so once this is done, this detaches, and then this detaches once it's done, and then by then I hope we get into orbit. If not, then I'm gonna consider a failure and probably either reset or ditch it, like ditch this entire stage and then just go for the landing. And the landing portion of this is just this little capsule on top, which we have docked to the station. That way I can pull it a little bit or just move it around. But once that's done, there's like a hidden little computer right here, like an unmanned vehicle. That way, like, we can control it from space or from the ground. That way we can control it a little bit. Because right now this thing is empty. Like, if I just hit the crew hatch there, it says 0. Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of our plan here. So I just wait until morning. Okay, so it's just morning, or it's just coming up on morning. I was actually kind of afraid that like this electric battery, the electric battery inside will go to waste, but I think right now I don't have any batteries on this. Actually I do, just one, but hopefully that battery is going to be the only battery you need to process data. But it could get insane once we bring back a lot of data for it to be processed, so we might expand this way. Like, if this was in space, this part down here will be like habitation modules and maybe like a giant solar array, just so we can get more power. Okay, looks like sun's coming up here. I'm kind of not confident launching this mainsail engine because it looks really small for the payload that we're sending. I was planning on adding 2 and then adding the 4 larger rocket boosters, but I thought that was kind of overkill, so I'm going to try this first. Okay. Just double checking our sequence, because I don't want to spend another... How much do we spend? Like 60 grand on this? It's like 60 grand in total, so it's like I better not waste it. Okay, SAS on. Always SAS on. Okay, here we go, Jeb. In 3, 2, 1, launch. And we're off. We can definitely slow this down. Yeah, we're definitely reaching speed pretty fast. I'm planning on getting it around the same orbit as the satellites, or if not a little bit higher. That way the satellites kind of like pass under it. But we're gonna still try and aim for that geosynchronous orbit. Not geosynchronous, but equatorial orbit. Because geosynchronous means that like wherever you are in space, it's relative to the ground that you're in the same spot. So like, geosynchronous would be above the sky, but like always on top of KSP. Like that's an example. And that looks like a good... We're gonna punch it. But we're gonna go for an equatorial orbit, that way we kind of like go around Kerbal. I don't think we have to worry about the axis of Kerbal, but right now it's just, I think, just North Pole and South Pole. There's no actual, I don't know what the word is for it, but like, we don't have to really like worry about going kind of like wobbly, like the actual International Space Station. So that's the plan. I'm gonna just slow down here because we don't really need that much power. It looks like we're going into orbit. I think we're going to go to 70 and then we're going to lock it off. Let's start tilting a little bit here. Of course I added an inline reaction wheel, but not an inline reaction wheel, but an advanced SAS system. That way we can control it a little bit. I think that is a little bit overkill, or it's actually working in our favor at the moment. They're looking good. 70 and block it off. Now we just have to tilt this down. And then we're going to use the rest of this engine for the burn. Hopefully we'll make it. Yeah, 80s look pretty good. Let's just wait it out a little bit here. Burning 50. So once the mission timer goes to, actually we're gonna use the universal time. So once we pass this minute, we're gonna have to start firing pretty fast. Actually in 30 seconds and mark. Okay, so that's like 42-ish. So I'm gonna fire around 42 seconds. So far we're doing pretty good. I was actually kind of pessimistic about the engine, so I was like, maybe I should make this a little bigger, but fortunately we don't have to really do it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, firing. We're gonna speed it up because we're going down pretty fast. Okay, we're almost there. And detach. We gotta do this really quick, otherwise we're gonna lose it. Come on, come on, come on. Turn it over, turn it over. Actually, we don't have to turn it over. Come on, come on, come on. We're wasting time here. Oh, we wasted all the fuel. Okay, no. We're good. We're good. Activate engine. Activate engine. Activate engine, come on. We got this. We got this. Yeah, we don't have this. I think the only way we're gonna do this is we're gonna crash this into the ocean now. I don't think this thing has the speed to take us into orbit. Yeah, we're not really doing it. We're not doing it. Alright. Now we're gonna test our theory that this thing can actually withstand a crash test. I read somewhere that the processing lab is not gonna be able to take it, but we'll see. I think with career mode there should be like a hardcore career mode where you can't like reset or anything. Like there's no reset, so like anything that's launched and you crashed it, like that's it. Like that's the money you spend, that's the science you spent. There's no going back. There's no like quick saving. There's only quick saving like once. And that's like only when you've completed something or you've done something, so like pretty much when nothing's like really happening, you're just like floating around. I don't know how the quick saving would work though, but it'd be kinda nice to have just hardcore mode. Hopefully I can land this with one parachute and 3/4 of a tank of fuel left. I just hope we can do this. Okay, we're burning up. If we can recover this, it'll save us a little bit of money, but if not, I think we spent like probably like 2/3 on just the engine components. Like that costed a lot, and then the rocket boosters weren't that much, but that was pretty expensive. That was probably like pretty expensive, but this part is either as expensive or more expensive than that. So we gotta like at least get this into space, and then this we can bring back, and that wouldn't be a big problem. Okay, we're gonna land this in the middle of nowhere while that falls into the ocean. I kinda want to test out the large solid rocket booster as a live thing rather than something just to like try it out. So we might try and do that once we get this into space. Well, it was a good attempt, good first attempt at a space station. But right now it looks like we're going to have to set this down and try and figure out another way to do this. Definitely throttling very fast doesn't help. I think we have to maintain a speed of like 200 or something in atmosphere to be like to make it efficient to get into space, but right now like I just want to get into space. Okay, there we go. We're gonna fast forward a little bit here. We're gonna far in so that we can just slowly make this landing. Oh. I lost my parachute, so we're gonna have to slightly come back down, and there we go. We lost the processing lab to the ocean, but at least we got Jeb back. Let's recover. This is gonna be really expensive. Like literally, I'm gonna have to pay it off by having like satellites just report back like science and stuff like that. I think at the start we had 20 grand over here, more than the funds. So just returning 3,000 isn't that great. So yeah, I think that was a ship. It was like 40,000 something. Let's load it up. Alright, this is gonna be our second attempt. So next episode, I'm gonna try a second attempt at building a space station. Hopefully we don't have to do this 10 more times, because we're gonna spend a fuck ton of money if we do that. And I do need the money again to get to the moon and Minmus. Alright, see you guys next time.